ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Recording in progress. In progress.
భక్తిరసామృతస్తుంది. Venushi Bhaktirasamrita. So page number 5. We are in the last paragraph. It is stated in the Padma Purana. In the maybe a quick recap. 2 weeks back, we had actually discussed about the Karma Kanda portion. Basically, it's about the results of its previous sinful activities. That is the cause of suffering. So, and the pretext, the context is that pure devotional service. What is the nature of pure devotional service? It brings in immediate relief from all kinds of material distress. It gives in all kinds of relief from material distress, or relief from all kinds of material distress. So that is the point. So now let's read on. It is stated in the Padma Purana. Who can read for me?
It is stated in the Padma Purana that there are four kinds of effects into sinful activities. They are listed as follows. The effect which is not yet fructified, the effect which is lying as a seed, the effect which is already mature, the effect which is almost mature. It is also stated that all these four effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu and become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness.
So what is that, Padma Purana states? Say a person has done one sin. Huh? Say something, he goes and steals some money from a bank. When he steals money, first what happens? This particular sinful activity has to be recorded. And once it is recorded, it is yet to be fructified. The result of that. Once it gets fructified means what? Say now you already planted a sin. The sin's effect should become as a seed. It will come as a seed. That is the effect which is not yet fructified. Then the effect which is lying as seed. Then the seed has to get germinated and become a plant. The effect which is already mature and the effect which is almost mature. The fourth one is what we generally suffer. What we see is the fourth one. First, somebody has done one sin, one action which had a sinful reaction. A sinful reaction will become as a seed, and that seed gets germinated and become a plant, and then finally it comes as a fruit. That fruit is what we suffer. And now it is also stated that all these four effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, and become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. Where do we get this kind of a statement? Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tvam Sarvapetya Moksheshwami Ma Sucha. Right? So Krishna told very clearly, so we should have the faith in his words. There's some kind of reason coming, no? How do you do it? I put it in the I want to just see if anybody asks questions. That's all. Something. Sorry. So what did Krishna say? When you surrender unto him, Krishna is going to give you the assurance. What is the assurance he is giving? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyah. The word used is sarva papebhyah. All sinful activities will be immediately vanquished. So now what are the adjectives which Prabhupada uses here? He stated that all these four effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. The word used is Vishnu, not Krishna, and become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. So thing is surrender. अरे surrender होने के बाद क्या करेंगे? कुछ तो करना है. Activities are going to be there continuously, right? So after once a person surrenders, he does some activity. An activity which is done in a surrendered consciousness is devotional service, and devotional service is done in full Krishna consciousness. These are all the adjectives. Then definitely all those sinful activities will get vanquished. So let's move on.
Those effects described as almost mature refer to the distress from which one is suffering at present, and the effects lying as seed are in the core of the heart, where there is a certain stock of sinful desires which are seeds. The Sanskrit word utam means that they are almost ready to produce a seed or the effect of the seed. An immature effect refers to the case where the seedling has not begun. From this statement of Padma Purana, it is understood that material contamination is subtle. Its beginning, its fruition, and results, and how one suffers such results in the form of distress are part of a great chain. When one catches some disease, it is often very difficult to ascertain the cause of the disease, where it originated, and how it is matured. The suffering of a disease, however, does not appear all of a sudden. It actually takes time. And as in the medical field, for precaution's sake, the doctor injects a vaccination to prevent the growing of contamination. The practical injection to stop all the fructifications of the seeds of our sinful activities is the engagement in Krishna consciousness.
The Prabhupada was commenting on this in the Vrindavan, that Krishna consciousness is the best injection. Again. So, if you take a tablet, it will take some time to produce the effect, right? If you put injection, immediately there is an effect, right? So, global Krishna consciousness is the best injection. So, not just to understand the first few lines of the let us take a mango tree. Mango tree has a fruit. Now that fruit is the action a person has done now. That fruit, if I take it out, it is not a producer seed. Its seed is there inside. So somebody has to take out pulp and then put it into the ground. Then the seedling will start. Right? Then the seedling will start and then it becomes a tree. And the tree again produces fruits, and that fruit is what is the reaction to the sinful reaction. Understood? The reaction of our not reaction to sinful reaction. It is actually a what called the effect. The effect of the sinful reaction is seen like. There are 4 stages. First is somebody take out that fruit, and then next is seed and then the tree is put in the fruit. So sometimes you see that we don't see a person is very sinful, but he's enjoying. He's enjoying the past pious activities. But now what is he now creating a new? He's creating a new set of sins. So this is the important thing which should be properly. So that it is not that we can't go by what is happening in front of us. So next, what it is? The another nature of this material world is it is very, very difficult to know, whether I'm suffering because of my current actions or my I am very not perfectly done my action. And all these are all confusing. So then Prabhupada is the example of a disease. When a small disease that word, it is easy to identify. When and by I got this disease. But it is a complex disease. Some very good disease, like say TB or some cancer or anything such kind of a big disease. Very difficult one. Which action, because of chain reaction. Over a period of long time, that got accumulated, and suddenly it is coming out. Right? So this is the thing which Prabhupada is saying. So it is often very difficult time for the disease where it is originated and how it is maturing. The suffering of a disease, however, does not appear all of a sudden. It actually takes time. It actually takes time, and as in the medical field, for precaution, the doctor injects a vaccination to prevent going of infection. How do we take the example of the HIV example here? In the disease,
It's like vaccination which prevents infection and the service prevent the tendency to
Mm. Mm.
when we are engaging in
What is the exact way in which the system works?
immune attack.
How does the immune system gets built? By creating some what you call deactivated viruses. Huh? Some kind of deactivated virus are injected into the person, and then, the immune system fight that and then develop the vocabulary to fight the future diseases. Right? So how do correlate to Krishna consciousness?
Chanting of Hare Krishna Maha.
Okay, sending a Hare Krishna Mahamudra. I want a little bit more detailed analysis.
The activity that we do dovetail or we some for example coming to material that we like this is not the activity and then we have to go back. This is the
I see, I see nice explanation of what is vaccination.
body lot pure water.
Uh,
What do you?
I'll again repeat the explanation. Material example of vaccination. Please understand that every analogy which Prabhupada spoke over there has a lot of depth of meaning in it. And Prabhupada himself promises. Understand? Again repeating, how does vaccination happen? Is we take some deactivated virus and we inject into our body, and the body's immune system will fight that particular deactivated virus and develops vocabulary to fight whenever actual disease when it comes in, and the body is ready to face the challenge.
From the inner distortion something.
We get little bit reaction right now. We are getting little bit reaction and it's by Prabhupada.
So what does Krishna Prabhupada do? He have a lot of karma. There's no doubt about it. Okay. But the manage the way karma is put front of us. Krishna Prabhupada put the karma actually that we have certain life lessons. Right? We have certain life lessons. Good karma or bad karma, if it is not going to produce conscious lesson, the Lord will not allow it to come in front of us. If you ask for if you become say or enormous, so rich, then you're going to go with conscious, then Lord will not give that kind of karma to get in your case. If you are, if you are due to die, say tomorrow, but then you will still execute a lot of people's service. God will not allow that to happen. And he will allow some small, maybe you can meet with an accident and then you get saved. Krishna, thank you for saving me. Right? So with all of this is what's happening? We are learning life lessons and becoming more and more Krishna consciousness while we are doing the actions. So we should be careful in reading whatever, when you read Prabhupada. We have to practically analyze what is the thing which Prabhupada is saying, why this example is saying. Next.
Connection to the some 6 in this is chapter of Srimad second chapter, verse 17. About the story of Acharya, who began life as a fine digital brahmana, but in his next manner became fully corrupted by gratitude. At the end of his bitter life, just by calling the name of Narayana Krishna, he was made dead by so much sin. So the funds for the constituting charity and government of ritualistic ceremonies for counteracting sinful attitudes are recommended processes. But that by performing good, one can remove the sympathetic seed from the heart, as was the case with in his This sinful attachment can be removed only by achieving Krishna. And this can be accomplished very easily by chanting Mahamantra or Hare Krishna Mantra, as recommended by Sri Chaitanya. In other words, unless one adopts the path of devotional service, he cannot be 100% clean from all the reactions of sin.
Okay. What has happened in the case of Ajamila? Ajamila was doing his duties. As a young Brahmana, he was perfectly doing his duties. While one day when he went to the forest to collect some of the wooden sticks or whatever for his, homa, he happened to just skip one prostitute and doing all illicit activities. And he started excessively meditating on that particular scene. Okay? And he couldn't able to give up that idea. Jaya Vishyan Samsar, and the stage of Jaya, there is a Siddharthi Brahma, Rama, Guru, Jaya, Krona, Bhavat Sammoha, Sammoha, Smriti Brahma, Smriti Pramsa, Buddhi Nacha, Buddhi Nacha, Pranashit. So this entire 7 or 8 stages of fall down has happened in the case of Ajamila just by starting the Jayatu Vishayan Kumsa. He had seen certain incident and he got diverted. And so much so that, he gave up all his good duties and activities. But at the time of his death, when he was almost 88-year-old man, okay, at that time he had his 10th son, and he had named the 10th son as Narayana. So just by unconsciously chanting Narayana, Narayana here and there, he started acquiring some his credits. So when he was, the Yamadutas came talking to take him away, he chanted the word Narayana so that his son will come and protect him. But when he chanted the word Narayana in that helpless state of affairs, then he suddenly realized by the effect of the holy name Narayana that what this Narayana boy can do for me. This boy Narayana can do nothing for me. Then he thought about the Lord Narayana himself. Okay? That is how he was able to get a second chance. It's not that just by chanting Narayana, he went back to God. No, he got a second chance. He got a second chance wherein afterwards he goes to, I think, Haridwar, right? He goes to Haridwar and then continues his, he restarts his spiritual practices and then goes back to God. So now what is the lesson out of this? What is the lesson out of this? That, but that by performing them, one cannot remove the sinful desire seed from the heart. There is a sinful desire seed in the heart. What does it mean? Can anybody help me understand this? There is a sinful desire seed which can be removed only by achieving Krishna consciousness.
So the effect which has to fructify because of the interpretation. So when he took Narayana's name, that's when he also, it's a re-engagement in Krishna consciousness at that. So it was not a simple calling out of Narayana, calling with consciousness. So it prevented that fructification from happening.
Yeah, that is understanding. So I'm trying to go little more deeper on the stage. The first thing that by them one cannot remove the sinful desire from the heart, as was the case with the example. this desired seed can be removed. Can be removed. You're talking about the removal of the seed, not the effect of the seed. You're talking about the fourth stage when the Yamadutas have come and they are trying to take over Ajamila. That is the fourth stage. Okay. Now, what Prabhupada is talking about is a stage where not from the first stage, from the second stage. First stage is what? You've done sinful activity. Okay, now the fruit is getting created and the fruit will turn into a seed. Now the seed has to be protected. So now again I'm repeating this. This sinful desire seed can be removed only by achieving Krishna consciousness.
Remember, actually, we do if we don't do it for our own sense gratification, but for Krishna's gratification. That is the desire. I mean, how do we dovetail those desires and the actions that we do? The results should not be for us.
Yes, that's an important. Every action we do is an action like a sacrifice, right? Like sacrifice Lord Vishnu. So when we do that, what is happening? The word is this sinful desire seed.
Because of the creator committing the sin is the desire.
Correct. A desire which is sense gratificatory desire. Now, a sense gratification desire can be done in a dharma way and in an adharma way. Right? Dharma way is pious activity, adharma way is impious activity. So now I am trying to say here, what happens to a devotee? A devotee, when he is acting in the world, is conscious of Krishna. When he is conscious of Krishna when he is acting, what happens? Automatically you are conscious of Lord. You are connected to the Lord. So when your consciousness that you are connected to the Lord and you're not really much worried about the sin which is coming in the form of either sin or sinful desire or pious desire. You're not bothered. You're focused on Krishna. So if anybody has the Bhagavad Gita, okay, I'm not required anyway. So we know the famous verse of 2.4. Vyavasayatmika buddhi, eha buddhana, bhavashakayenta buddhayo abhisayina. What is this verse all about? Having a very resolute purpose in life. A strong purpose in life. Okay. So now, if your mind is getting distracted towards Jaya Vishyan Pumsa, then what we should do? Jaya to purpose Pumsa. No? Instead of Vishyan Pumsa, not the Jayam, that meditation of our mind, instead of on the Vishya, on the sense objects, okay, and then instead of that, you focus on the purpose. What is my purpose? My purpose is only one purpose, that I will accept orders of the spiritual master. Once I get initiated, okay, I have to accept orders of the spiritual master as my life and so on. You are accepted the purpose of the spiritual master as life and so on. Let us take the example of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada got one order from Bhakti Siddhanta that he should somehow spread Krishna consciousness around the world. Okay? So now he has a family. He was a Grihastha. In 1936, he got this first order. Okay? And he gave up his Grihastha when? Somewhere in 1952. Where he becomes Vanaprastha. He goes to Chansi. Okay? So now it was a good 16 years Prabhupada stayed within the Grihastha ashrama. Right? So there are many anecdotes which we can actually read from and then understand how Prabhupada was living in those days. Every moment he is trying to spread Krishna consciousness. Okay. I don't know whether I have narrated the story. I'll tell the story. I'm not prepared, but just know this story flashed up. I don't remember the devotee's name. This devotee is a disciple of Sridhar Maharaj. Sridhar Maharaj is Prabhupada's Guru Bhai. Like there are God brothers, right? God brothers, God sisters, right? But Prabhupada, his God brother was Sridhar Maharaj. And Sridhar Maharaj had his disciple who had no good sense of English. He was a simple Bengali brahmachari who can speak only Bengali, nothing more. Sridhar Maharaj sends to Srila Prabhupada. This was in the time when India was to get independence between the Second World War and before the independence. It was a very, very tumultuous situation in the world in those days in India. Bengali famine, blah, blah, so many issues, right? And not get into the political circumstances. So this gentleman came and he was learning from Prabhupada the Bhagavatam. Okay. But Prabhupada's heart was filled with passion to somehow fulfill the orders of the spiritual master. Hmm? And he's a grasta, wearing grasta vesha, okay, like white dress, right? And this boy is a brahmachari, okay, he wearing saffron and pahado, okay. So then he says, okay, now you come with me. Now we'll go to some very big respectful people. You be with me and we'll give a class. Give a class. Where are you taking me? No, I'll make you sit on the asan, okay? And you recite the verse. I don't even know English. How can you do all this? No. You sit there. You only just recite the Sanskrit verse. I will sit next and I will start explaining. My God. What a humility Srila Prabhupada has demonstrated. Right? What a humility Srila Prabhupada has demonstrated. But he is actually Sakshat Hari. Prabhupada is a pure devotee. Right? But seeing the circumstances in which people are around, wherein they will give automatically some respect to Saffron, he made his person who is like his disciple actually, right? Made him sit on the asana and he was sitting in the adjacent him and he was giving English explanation in English. He was people in the Bengali aristocracy, right? So, what are we seeing out of this? That whatever be my situation, good or bad, either I am suffering or happiness, everything I should doubt it in the service to my spiritual master. If that is the thing is there, okay, sometimes there will be sinful reactions, sometimes there will be biased reactions. I'm not bothered. Because I'm not discussing whether I'm going to enjoy or not. If I'm going to enjoy, next question will be whether to do dharmic way or adharmic way. Right? Because first of all, I don't want to enjoy. Once that is clear, it really does next step. Right. So let's move on. So what are and this can be accomplished easily by sorry. So this sinful desire seed can be removed only by giving Krishna. So by very easily, if you achieve this Krishna consciousness process by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and all those things, all of those other processes recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we will be able to get rid of these problems. Okay. So in other words, unless one adopts the path of devotional service, he cannot be 100% clean all the reactions of sinful activities. Next. Anybody else can read for me? By performing.
By performing Vedic ritualistic activities, by giving money in charity, and by undergoing austerity, one can temporarily become free from the reactions of sinfulity. But at the next moment, he must again become engaged in sinful activities. For example, a person suffering from venereal disease, from excessive indulgence in sex life, has to undergo some severe pain in medical treatment, and he is then cured for the time being. But because he has not been able to remove this desire from his heart, he must again indulge in the same thing
and become a victim of the same disease. So medical treatment may give temporary relief from the disease of such.
From the distress of such venereal disease. From the distress.
But unless one is trained to understand that sex life is abominable, it is impossible to be saved from such repeated distress. Similarly, the ritualistic performances, charity, and austerity that are recommended in the Vedas may temporarily stop one from acting in sinful ways, but as long as the heart is not clear, one will not
One will,
one will not.
one will have to repeat.
Have to repeat sinful activities in
This is a very, very important statement. That, that is the big difference between the karma kanda portion and our upasana kanda or bhakti. In the Vedas, there are three parts are there. Karma kanda, jnana kanda, and upasana. Again, upasana kanda, there is about the very Devi Devas. Then again, the highest is the upasana to the Narayan. So, what is the problem of the karma kanda process? You go into something. Suffering. Sometimes you feel some over this price food, immediately go and take some coconut, whatever, right? It's you do, correct? No? Karma kanda is like that. You do something, sin, you're afraid of future reactions. Actually, these people are better than people who are not bothered about reactions. That is sinful people. But these people are not actually sinful people. They are doing sin, but they are afraid of the reaction of the sin, and they want to somehow, wrap it up inside this thing quickly and get into doing the pious activities again, so that I will be able to enjoy. Last time we also analyzed a very famous story. Who is that? One of the most famous, the very best in the pious activities. In Vegas. Vegas was right? So now, because, we are in the midst of going to Kumbh Mela, every now and then, people will come and ask you. Obviously, you are a devotee, and all your neighbors, all your friends, and office colleagues know that you are a devotee. You are going to Kumbh Mela? Huh? No, I'm not going. You're not going? How come you're not going? Huh? Right? Yeah? You're not going. Why you're not going? There's such a big conglomeration of people coming from all over the world, coming to Kumbh Mela. You're not going. I thought you're a religious person. A social pressure gets created. As if this is most important, right? As if it is most important. Isn't it not very important? Prabhupada ji himself went. In 1977, when the Mahakumbha, that once in 12 years Mahakumbha was happening, Prabhupada was there with his entire ISKCON camp. In 1971, when it was Ardha Kumbh, then also Prabhupada was there. He went there. Then you take his previous Acharya, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also went to the Prayagraj. And in fact, the Prayagraj Gaudiya Math, Radha Krishna deities were installed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur during one of those Kumbh Mela time. So, is this Kumbh Mela, is it a Karma Kanda portion, or is it something to do with Krishna consciousness?
Rupa then is spiritual master, they went not to purify themselves, but to purify the people who will be there, who there, instill Krishna consciousness.
Once again, very carefully we should understand the statement. Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura did not go for Karmakanda purpose, but they went there to purify others. So is it that they went to just give them, okay, so many people, sinful people are coming, okay, take their sin. For that purpose they went
To give Krishna consciousness was spread the Maya.
to give Krishna consciousness. So are you sure that this Kumbh Mela has nothing to do with Karma Kanda, or it may have some Karma Kanda proportion, but it is also Krishna conscious.
Upasana, it is Upasana Kanda.
Why? When I'm taking bath in the Sangam on a particular time, Shahi Snan day, going and taking bath with millions of people coming in over there.
Consciousness will matter.
Huh?
Consciousness will matter. The person who's going to take the day,
Huh?
that consciousness, if Krishna conscious thinking of the Lord, then it is not karma kanda.
Okay, let us understand this statement. Huh?
Like church, we go to church and say, okay, wash my sins again, Monday to Sunday, I commit sins. So like that,
Huh?
if we go for Karma Kanda and say,
Hmm.
okay, now it's all clean, let's go back and,
Hmm.
get back to normal.
Our job of doing sins.
But such Upasana Kanda, there we are, glorifying Ganges and glorifying Narayana. And say, give me more of this, give me more of association.
Huh?
Prove if the objective is association of devotees and thing from them rather than just washing away the sins, then it comes.
So if our objective is ultimately becoming Krishna consciousness, the action justifies this. But otherwise, if my objective is something else, then it's a problem. So if my objective is only to achieve Krishna consciousness, is it really required for me to go to pilgrimage places?
To get the
Both
association.
Huh?
Necessary but not
To get the
sufficient condition.
Necessary but not sufficient condition.
No, it could be
I like this argument. Necessary but not sufficient enough.
Place of pilgrimage.
Uh.
We have, I forgot that shloka,
Huh?
where there is a devotee, there's a shloka where it says place of pilgrimage.
Let's read that verse.
Ah.
Yatirtha buddhi sarideva parishit sayeva kokaraha. We'll read that. Yasyatma buddhi punape tridatuke swadik kalatradisha bhauma ichadi yatirtha buddhi sarilena karihishit janesha vignesha sayeva kokaraha. Okay. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements with his self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsmen, who considers the land of birth worshipable, and who goes to the place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge, there is to be considered like an ass or a rogue. So what are the three or four stuff? One is a person who is identifying himself with this body. Okay. And the byproducts of this body as his own kinsman. One who considers the land of birth as worshipable. Mera Bharat Mahan, आज तो Republic Day है. Correct, no? One who considers the land of birth worshipable and who goes to the place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet the men of transcendental knowledge there is to be considered like an ass or a crow. Or a cow. Go Karaha. Go is cow and Karaha is ass. So this is the statement and verdict of the Bhagavatam, wherein when I go to a place of pilgrimage, I should go and associate with the men over there. I shared one PDF in the link in the WhatsApp group. Can we open that? So that can that also be shared in the So, okay, let's read this. Mohini Murti and the bucket of nectar. Bathing during the month of Maga or Magha Mela still takes place. This has been a very old Mela assembly from time immemorial. It is said that the Lord in the form of Mohini took a bucket of nectar and kept it at Prayaga. Consequently, Magha Mela has been observed and there is an assembly of holy men there every year. Every 12th year, there is a Kumbh Mela, a great festival, and all the holy men from all over India assemble there. The Brahmanas wanted to take advantage of the Magha Mela and bathe there. Okay. So now the context of this is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Vrindavan. Every day, so many Brahmanas were coming and inviting him for some, Brahmana bhojan at their, in their home. And, whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes here and there, he suddenly sees something, he'll become ecstatic. He sees some tree, he will think that it is Krishna. He'll see some water, he'll think it is something else. And then he suddenly once he drowns himself in Yamuna. At that time, by grace of Lord, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, his assistant was immediately next to him. He will be able to just go get hold of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and get him out of Yamuna river. And it was becoming very difficult for the Balabhadra Bhattacharya to handle Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like this. Then he goes and discusses with Sanodia Brahmana. The Sanodia Brahmana is a disciple of Srila Madhavendra Puri. Sanodia Brahmanas are not high class Brahmanas. They are considered as one of the lowest category of the Brahmanas. But still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not consider all these caste based classifications. He was associating with the Sanodia Brahmana. So the Sanodia Brahmana and Krishna and this Balabhadra Bhattacharya, they discuss, okay, now what we should do. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in 1515, just before the Kartik, to Vrindavan. So now already it means some 2-3 months got over. Okay. So now they decide, now you see, the Magha Masa is coming, Sankramana. Let us go and take bath in Prayagraj. We'll give this as an excuse to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take him out of Vrindavan. So in this context, this purport is there. Okay. So when Prabhupada is explaining that, why people assemble over there, very important. The statement is why people are assembling over there. They want to get liberated. Some people want to get liberated from their sinful activities so that they can continue their sin. Some people want to get liberated from the sinful activity so that they can actually get liberation, moksha. Some people actually come over there, not only get rid of the sins, go back to God also. Okay? Because sin is binding everybody. There's no doubt about it. Sin binds many people, right? Everybody. Right? But what we want to do after getting liberated from sin is important. So let's read on. Now, Karma Kandiya process. Bathing at the confluence of the Ganges and Yamuna near the fort at Allahabad, Prayaga, is mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Mage Masi Gamishyanti Ganga Yamuna Sangamam Gavam Sata Sahasrasya Samyak Tattvam Chayat Palam Prayage Magamase Vaitra Prayaham Snatasya Tat Palam. If one goes to Prayaga and bathes at the confluence of the Ganges and Yamuna in the month of Magha, he attains the result of giving hundreds and thousands of cows in charity. Simply by bathing for 3 days there, he attains the result of such a pious activity. Right? So much pious activity. If you take 3 times bath there during that Magha Masa in that month, it's like as good as giving hundreds and thousands of cows in charity. Generally, karmis, this is the highlighted is very important. Please read the highlighted. Generally, karmis, fruitive laborers, take advantage of bathing there during the month of Magha, thinking that they will be rewarded in the future. Those who are situated in devotional service do not very strictly follow this karma kanda process. So this is very important. What is that? Devotees who are absorbed in doing devotional service they do not strictly follow this karma kandiya process. Don't get bewildered if some neighbor who is unintelligent about these deeds, huh, put some pressure. Hey, आप लोग devotee लोग अब नहीं जा रहे? नहीं जा रहे। क्या है? हमारा process इतना है, हाँ? एक बार अगर हो गया है ना, hopefully
Difference here, who Uttama or any state, any state of situation service is not all this not Adhikari levels or the Uttama Adhikari.
the can because productivity which part of the which part of this is the karma side or the devotion side? So we have to decide, right? Yeah. Huh? So this is very, very important to reflect upon. Huh? Because in this material world, we things go and get marketed very nicely. So अच्छा है, हम करना ही है. Huh? And you also get delusion. Hey, senior is also going there. No, then I should also go. And they are going for what? They are going for service. All these Karmi fellows will come there, go and make them chant Hare Krishna, give them one Bhagavad Gita book or whatever way to make them come to Krishna consciousness. They are going to camping, not for their self-purification. They are not going there for their self-purification. Self-purification, we have already a process. No need to get permit. So let's move on. Holiness is both the need on account of the all devotees. So this is a very, very important thing. How does a holiness get created?
The Lord of the fasting,
Mhm.
the Lord is the beauty of
Yes, the origin of holy place is first of all the Lord has done activity. When Lord is alone, he'll come with devotees, right? He'll come with devotees and does some activities there. When you do some activities over there, to make that place recall, a good recall, let it be there. The Rishi will demonstrate that this is a pilgrimage place. It is important. Everything there is a how this holy place was created. Then what? He killed Hiranyaksha. Okay. He came to the banks of Yamuna, okay, and he rested, and that place became Vishram Ghat. And then he started narrating the Varaha. The sages they heard, and that place became Mathura became a place of pilgrimage. The holy place gets created. The holy places all over the earth are meant for purifying. The word uses meant, so its purpose are meant for finding the holy conscious of human being by an atmosphere surcharged with the presence of God's and devotees. So the place is surcharged with devotion atmosphere with the Lord of all devotees. If anyone visits the holy place, he must search out the pure devotees residing in such holy place. To go to some holy place of pilgrimage does not mean only to take a bath in the Ganges or Yamuna or visit the temples situated in those places. One should also find representatives of Vigraha who have no desire in life save and except to serve the personality of God. This is in the context of Vidura went out and trying to associate with Maitreya Muni in these pilgrimage places. So what are the 4 points? One must have a pure devotee, take use from the apply such instructions in practical life and prepare one. They are the actual service of the Lord, specifically the process of hearing and chanting. The pure devotees hear from the authorities, chant, sing, and write for the glories of the Lord. Mahamuni Vyasadeva heard from Narada and then he chanted in Vaikunth. Shukadeva Goswami studied from his father and translated it into Parikshit. That is the way of Srimad Bhagavatam. So by their actions, you see the word here, so by their actions, the pure devotees of the Lord can render any place into a place of pilgrimage. And the holy places are worth the name only on their account. Such pure devotees are able to rectify the polluted atmosphere of any place. What is being a holy place? Rendered unholy by the feeble actions of interested who try to adopt a professional life at the cost of the reputation of a holy place. So, what is a holy place get created? By the actions of a pure devotee. What is the actions of a pure devotee? Just going there, what they are thinking about? Huh? He preaches the message of the Lord over there. Okay? He creates a he creates a matter, he distributes the message of that circumstances, he creates a very, very favorable circumstances. And only their word, getting good as such. And so we should be very, very careful. We should identify who are the devotees. There is a clear description of the pure devotee in the Bhagavad Gita. Where does it are? Who is a pure devotee? Where do we get all the definitions of the pure devotees? Then so then there are many verses of this in the Bhasha, 0.72, the Bhagavad Gita, right? Then again in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there's also description of people who are beyond the reactions of the karma, right? So that continuously there are places, even nature also. Every now and then keeps on defining the person who is how he moves, who has become pure. So we want to identify not anybody but there are some 40 crore people, I mean, located. Probably at least suppose if you going to talk to them, you get 1 crore rupees. You go mad. Which one to do? It's not the way you have to enter properly. You say, only man. Carried by Acharyas versus misled by the propaganda of money making. This is very important. We are in the Hindutva propaganda. Money making in the there is no temple academy. A temple is not meant to be academy. Temple is meant to for you to go back to Godhead. You see how such kind of words get associated. What is oxymoron, sir? Opposing words are being added together. What is this? We should not visit all the religious places and temples with sightseeing in mind. But one must go to such temples and sanctified places, immortalized by the transcendental constants of the Lord, and be guided by the women of the science. This is called Anubraja. Anu means to follow. It is therefore best to follow the instruction of the honorary spiritual master, even in distinct and holy places of pilgrimage. One who does not move in that way is as good as standing recommended by the Lord Master. The moving tendency of the belief is misused by fixing places for sightseeing. This purpose of such traveling tendencies put fulfilled by seeing the holy Spirit established by the Acharya, and hereby not being misled by the heretic who have no knowledge of spiritual matters. So, Srila Prabhupada going to place, huh? This TV place. How fortunate we are that we are with the great Acharya Srila Prabhupada, huh? And we are enjoying this mountain view. Huh? So one devotee came and told the Prabhupada, so beautiful on this place is. And the night going so beautiful is this place. And he got Prabhupada's answer. This place, there's no light. Everything is dead. There's no only dead, dead. Trees are dead, they're almost dead. Immediately he was shaken off. Okay. Yesterday we were reading something in the our in the 8.37. Okay. In the name of service, we were doing some sense gratification. In the association of Srila Prabhupada, some scenic view. So we should not misuse what is a statement. Yes. The big tendency of the human being is misused by visiting sightseeing. It's Bahushaka. Our purpose is very clear. We want to go back to God. Okay. So this is what we should be very careful.
So provocation.
Yeah.
It was a place like Chadna.
Uh,
Temple is there. But that just that nature itself is so much of awe and reverence you can from that. So how do you, I mean, you just see the mountain and still say it's so great? I mean, practically speaking,
it's a good question.
what is that? Really, could be even like
Okay, no problem. We'll answer the second question. The first question here. Only a place of pilgrimage, the place of Lord, Acharya. When I am climbing the mountain, the place is so beautiful. But I appreciate the beauty or what? Okay.
Anything is not here to appreciate.
Sorry?
Anything that is associated with Lord. Even the practice of Kurukshetra, we should appreciate.
Anything associated with the Lord, okay, be it a Kurukshetra or be it a place of, pristine, beautiful place, Himalayas. If it is connected with the Tattva, and hence it can be appreciated from that angle. It should glorify that Savarana were the Himalayas, right? Among the mountains, the Lord is Himalayas. So this is his creation. His creation is so beautiful. So like that we have to appreciate. We should appreciate the beauty of this world with Krishna in center. So two more pages are there. I mean, I would request devotees to read on further. And they should take advantage of this proper understanding. Sorry? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu is the representative of Visuala as to be searched.
Has to be
Searched out.
searched out. Okay, Vidura is the pure devotee, right? We have to search out a proper person who is a representative of pure devotee, so that we get benefited. Okay. We also have written a nectar of devotion. One of the 6 qualities of pure devotion is it is very rare. It is very, very rare devotion. So to serve, to see a pure devotee associate, getting an association of pure devotee is in a rare thing. But then there are other representatives of pure devotees also, which such who are trying to put forward the actions and works of the pure devotee. Who don't associate with the people? Not at all. They are not wholly wrong. Because their objective is also trying to do in line with the actions of the pure devotee. That's why it is better. Issues are representative of the pure devotee, like Hijra. So in that way, yes, all the devotees of ISKCON, Kanishthaligar is probably 99%, 95%, 98% of Kanishthaligar in ISKCON. Probably few Madhyamaligar and very, very basic devotion, right? Uttamagar. But still, because even though we be in the conditional stage, our objective, our intention is to follow Prabhupada. Trying somebody is coming and approaching us. We don't become a guru there, right? We take the position that, hey, how much I can try to guide him, I try to guide him, right? And him or her, I try to guide in my own limited way. So with that bhavana, if you are guiding, there's no problem. And associating with such kind of a person, not a problem. But again, here also, should be very careful. Not all devotees in ISKCON, even though they are Kanishthaligaris, are worth the association. We do not have blanket statements. And because we are talking about association, which is very, very important, which can influence, and hence we need to be very, very careful. I still remember when I joined ashram, the third day, I had something to do with some service with and I paid a businesses to him when we go to and he asked, how is ashram like? Just joined ashram, very, very very nice. I was like, all nice adjectives. He said, check. He came for everywhere is the same lesson applies. Be it a person, just also learn lessons, right? Somebody asked mathematics of me in my lecture, in the lecture, who are you in association with? All politics of association of Prabhupada. You are politics of Prabhupada for me. Associating. I have come so many years in practicing in Krishna consciousness. So, setting that, what is just Krishna consciousness? It is some what he tells something we are studying, you are able to understand. But what is the word that it happened many times. Yeah, mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are like, a lizard also is a guru, something like that. I don't remember what I was before. There are some even dumb animals also there. That. But kind of a lesson, a person who is humble and he can humble and learn. So that's how we have to look at this world, have that perspective. But just because I have to associate with any person doesn't mean when you know that person's nature is not in line with overall devotional principles, I continue to be humble and be associated with them. Then there's no meaning of humility. Humility does not mean you give up your intelligence. When that person is not properly situated, I will be giving him due respect.
Ready. Guru will identify. And will be identified by the Guru. In Kumamala, people are going to identify. It's not.
First of all, that's not a problem statement of us. Because we have identified who is the spiritual master of us, that is Prabhupada. Okay. So now, searching for the spiritual master has to happen only in Kumbh Mela, need not be. And it is not, as you rightly said, were that sufficient but not, were that necessary but not sufficient cause. It is not, it may be one of the ways and means of identifying by going to a pilgrimage is that because there are many people who come to campaign, many people system of campaign, and then after that they have to wait for 1 year because you're thinking whether the person is going to be your spiritual master, whether you are a teacher or not, all these things going to go on. Okay, so that is insofar as anywhere you are defined. Now here, what we are now talking about, properly. Okay, with overall understanding, many people are coming into Krishna consciousness, right? We are democratically open to everybody, right? Even a thief also can come into Krishna consciousness. We are not stopping, right? But then we have to see whether I have to associate with this disease or not. Everybody is coming is a diseased person. He is sneezing, somebody is sneezing, somebody is having tuberculosis. You go see next to him. Take this tuberculosis or what? You have to be careful. Yeah.
So little bit on my first part of my question, but so true that when someone is ready, the Guru identify or be identified by the Guru, is that really true?
No. So the understanding is that okay, that Guru means a Checha Guru. Further. It's not that the spiritual master is choosing. It is the Paramatma God. And the Checha Guru directs the Jiva to it.
This moving tendency.
How is a moving tendency? Wherever you go, keep on spreading Krishna consciousness. That's the Prabhupada has demonstrated. 14 times you travel around the world. What more demonstration you want? Any other questions?
We going to pilgrimage places with the objective of increasing Krishna consciousness, can that accelerate just
Definitely. Because that pilgrimage place is called as Dham. Every Dham has the benefits of associated with the Dham, right? If you chant in one place, you get a home, it has X benefit means if you go and chant in the Dham, it has some 10x or 20x, whatever it's based on the situation of the Dham. Dhams like Daman and Mayapur will have much more better benefits associated.
The way I'm interpreting the questions, ticket is 35,000 to actually.
Sorry? No. If you're getting a ticket on the Nityanand Trayodasi day, being in Mayapur, better be there, Maya. Or in Vrindavan. There, 1,000 extra with 10,000 only. Ticket is not so expensive. Yeah. Okay. So we'll end now. I have no other questions in the Zoom over there. No questions? चलो शुरुआत की